We will start with an explanation of the two articles that we were supposed to read. This will be followed by explaining a few of the managerial contexts which DB would be taking, and then Apurav would come up with some new communication techniques using photography. We should first revise symbolic technique. Of course, it's a very difficult thing to understand, so we should try to do it again. Now, in any system, there are groups with political agenda. So what happens is a political group is trying to achieve what it does, and with persistent efforts, it tries to convert that symbol into a sign. And over the course of time, this sign is institutionalized by the culture. So in this article, the author is trying to relate tourism with photography. Now, what is the purpose of tourism? People go and travel to visit new places, meet new people, understand new cultures. But is this what the travel industry is selling? What is Paris selling? It is selling the Eiffel Tower. So it is trying to create the image of Eiffel Tower, and it is trying to send this image to maximum number of people across the world. So they are trying to communicate. They have this purpose of communicating this to maximum number of people in the world. How do they do it? Via visual communication. And what can be a better tool for visual communication than photography? And all the tourist sites are basically sites of visual consumption. We go there for the beauty, not sites like Vegas, but others we go for natural beauty or the kinds of beauty or for historical significance. But this is not what they sell. They sell the visual image of the place. So how did this whole process occur? This institutionalization. This all started with Kodak's marketing campaign that life is a movie. Now, when photography started, it was a scientific experiment. So cameras were supposed to take pictures of real world, the world as it is. What Kodak said that if you want to enjoy your life, you have to take pictures. Whatever significant event is happening in your life, you have to take pictures and save it for future memory. And they also started establishing the criteria for beauty and aesthetics. We were exposed to photos of celebrities which defined the concept of beauty and aesthetics in the mind of people of the society. And it was followed by, it is summed up by this campaign of Kodak, Picture Perfect Kodak Movements. Now, what has happened over time is the symbol photography has overpowered the political agenda, that is tourism. Now, travel and photography have become synonymous. When was the last time you went on a tour and didn't take a photo? So, people go to places without trying to capture the scene, they start clicking photos. So, this is an example where photography has actually overpowered the political agenda. Act of photography has become more important than the act of travel. The second article is on snapshot photography and strategic communication. The word in the article was strategic imagery. We changed it to communication for easy understanding. We have talked a lot about advertisement, and we saw a few ads as well. The problem with typical advertisement is a viewer knows that the ad is artificially constructed. They know that it has been, whenever we see an ad, we know that the company is trying to influence us. So we know that it is artificially constructed. Then companies came up with this idea of snapshots. Snapshots are pictures taken by common people in unconstructed scenarios, like the way things look when they are authentic and when they are a part of common everyday life. So the power of snapshot is that through them the companies are able to make an emotional impact on the viewer, because they know that it hasn't been artificially constructed. And this can be a tool for the company to create a brand culture and hence the relation between style and strategy. A very good example is of this concept is Burberry's Art of French campaign. Now it's a British apparel making company which back in 2008 ran this campaign to establish trench as a fashion statement. So what was the purpose of the company when they chose this particular tool, snapshot photography for their communication? What it does, it is people are able to relate it relate with it better, and it gives a casual feel to the company. Like what the campaign was about is, wherever you go, if you are dressed in a trench, you can take a photo of yourself and you can upload it on their website. And this was a time when Facebook and things like that were just coming up, so it was a hugely popular campaign. But the thing with, and this was a highly successful marketing campaign. It was a new phenomenon. But the problem is that this spontaneity is staged and this sincerity is calculated. People are trying to, people get posed for the photograph. So the sincerity they are showing in the photograph is actually calculated. The authenticity that they are trying to show is constructed. And hence the paradox. We will be coming on this again.
Sincerity, that as he explained, calculated sincerity. So like, yeah, we are in the suit, but yeah, we are casual also. So one of the examples, obviously stage spontaneity, calculated sincerity, and constructed authenticity. It's pretty self-explanatory. So it's not about these pictures, we do it like all the time, like everywhere. Whenever you are taking your pictures, even if you have like Facebook profile pictures, we might be studying over here for a year, but over the next 4 months, it might just look like that we are globetrotters. Like obviously, those are going to step, you're going to update your Facebook picture. So you want to portray yourself as something which you are not, and photographs have this rhetoric authenticity which comes as a power of photographs. So when I was a child, I never cared about what to wear. My parents used to pick it up for me. Now when I look at the photos, I see that they did not care either. It's from an anonymous member of our class. Okay. So now we see another example of it. That's behind the scenes video. So they want you to believe that these are like shot casually over here, but they actually do an invisible editing. This was one of the videos that got viral while during the recording, but obviously it was perfectly staged. The recording and everything was in the obviously it was like staged. Yeah, that's what I want to say. So there's an invisible editing that goes down, so it makes you feel that they have not edited the actual videos, but they have actually edited it. Like the handheld cameras that these days people use for movie shooting and everything, so they want to make you feel that it has been shot casually. The intertextuality is another thing that people do in behind the scenes, so that's been somewhat that we involve the existing science in the photographs to create that same culture. For example, in a pop culture video, so I'll probably involve the existing dogs or guitar somewhat to create that artificial reality of the picture. So intratextuality is using text and inter is using pictures. So now we'll consider a new technique of communication.
Right. So this is the third part of the thing. So what we've done is we first evaluated a particular technique that a company uses and explained how you can apply the politics of representation over there in that photograph. And then we've created another context as to how they could have also done it. It's probably not a better idea, it's just another idea as to how they could have done it. So probably that's what the third part meant. It was extremely ambiguous and there were like multiple sets of instructions and they were all counterintuitive. So we're concentrating on Heinz. So basically this picture shows a few things. There's a red backdrop, there's a bottle which is sliced and shaped to tomato. Then the bottom line reads, no one grows ketchup like Heinz. So there are multiple interpretations possible, like we looked at in the class, that every picture can be interpreted multiply. So the first interpretation is the obvious thing that Heinz is into abstract culture and it's just an innovative piece of art, nothing else. The second interpretation can be that Heinz is a ketchup company and it owns a tomato farm and hence it's got both of them. A third possible interpretation is that they're turning that unhealthy ketchup bottle into a healthy fruit representative. So while the third one is probably what they were aiming at, is that this interpretation is contingent to what values that they assume that the customers will have. And they're trying to match those values by showing a ketchup sliced in shape of a tomato. By tapping into this cultural aspect of the audience that they're targeting at, they're trying to appeal to the consumers by using the analysis. So analyzing this further as to how each element can be broken down, First of all, ketchup is loaded with sugars and preservatives, but here they've sliced it as a tomato, showing that it's a fresh product. The next thing is that the ingredient, they're focusing on the ingredients rather than on the other additives by showing that, again, the red backgrounds and the healthy fruit and stuff. The next thing is that nobody grows ketchup. Ketchup isn't grown, it's made. So they're not focusing on that part, they're just focusing on the grown ketchup part, which is essentially saying that, look at this, this is a healthy product, and they're trying to redefine ketchup as to something that's promoting a healthier way of life. Now, another way to do this, again by using the same technique of representation, would have been to show this. So these are 3 meals. Without color, without taste. This is eggs and bacon made out of cardboard. That's a hot dog made out of cardboard again. That's a steak and chips again made out of cardboard. And then there's just without Heinz. There's nothing in this, there's no color. It's just cardboard and without Heinz, no bottle, nothing. This is the entire ad. And so when you see this, there'll be, how do you go about it? So this would first attract your attention. You would wonder why is there a cardboard which is being used to make food items. The second would be that it's easier to understand when you read without Heinz. You would say that food tastes bad without Heinz. The third would be a strong product endorsement. That is to say that since you were thinking of Heinz and I'm not making you think of Heinz, you remember it. Heinz is what adds taste and you're left with an image of the Heinz bottle without actually seeing the bottle, which is very important because you're constructing the bottle in your head and nobody's showing you the bottle. If you analyze this again further into using the jargon of the paper, the images are the signifier, then there is something called the signified, which is the viewer, which is actually the food which is being, the concept of the food being bland without ketchup is what is being signified, and the signifier and the signified come together to create a communication which says Heinz tastes good. So there was another sub-part of that, I'm not sure this is what was required, but how else can this be applied at the best? You could show broken bridges, you can say without Fevicol or probably, then you could apply it to comps. The Apple people would probably appreciate this, that you could say, you could have comps saying 7 machines, it's a lot of errors, and then it says an Apple would never, this would never happen on that. And as a summary, we have this. You can probably read this